All right, shalom, 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 shalom. All praises to the Heavenly Father in the name of the Son, in the name of the Holy Spirit. Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakaha Kodash. Shalom wa Barakim, La Bakayarim Yasha Allah, which means peace and blessings to the elect of Israel. Double honors to our elders and apostles that came back in the reincarnation known as Great Millstone. All right. Shalom, shalom. Shalom, shalom. Let me know if y'all can hear me. Testing, testing, testing. Shalom, shalom. Let me check my audio. Call to our Shalom, the water brother. Shalom, GMS. We got next. Shalom, bro. Yeah, so I wanna let's do a quick video here. I was watching the Elder Malcolm did a video earlier, or I think it might have been a couple days ago or a day ago, and it was entitled what was that video titled? Anti-semantics versus victim, something like that. Anti-semantic. I should have just did a response. I should have called this just a response to that. Yeah, anti-semantics and victim villainism. All right, and this is a really good video that he did, and it touched on a lot of good points, and it made me remember something that came up in the news recently with Google and Amazon being sued over surveillance issues. So let me just get to some of these news articles. I'm gonna hit some precepts. So I just Googled Unit 8200 in Israel. So it says how Israel's Unit 8200 team of teenagers located Iran's nuclear sites. So 8200, let's go into it. All right, did Unit 8200 get caught using surveillance? Let me blow this up. Yes, there are credible reports that Unit 8200, an elite Israeli military intelligence unit, has been involved in large-scale surveillance of Palestinians that has drawn serious scrutiny. What the report said, a joint investigation by The Guardian, 972 plus magazine and local call found that Unit 8200 used Microsoft's Azure cloud platform to store and analyze recordings of millions of phone calls made by Palestinians in Gaza and the West Bank. The surveillance system reportedly enabled the interception, storage on the order of thousands of terabytes, and playbacks analysis of calls in what is described as a mass surveillance setup rather than purely targeted operations. Following the reporting, Microsoft began an internal review and then terminated or suspended some services to 8200, citing violation of its terms of service regarding use of its technology for mass surveillance of citizens. Important caveats: the reports use terms like allegedly or according to leaked documents and sources. So while the evidence is strong and publicly reported, there is still debate and legal ethical questions about the full scope, supervision, legality, and transparency of the operations. And that's why I wanted to do this video. All right, because in the video that the Elder Malcolm did, he pointed out a very serious fact that anytime these devils get caught doing something, they immediately want to shift the blame to, or we've been being persecuted for hundreds of years, and this is nothing more than persecution. No, let's focus on what the fuck you're doing. All right, like the whole thing with the graping that soldier. You were caught on camera sodomizing another soldier. Now you want to protest your right to grape. It's insane, right? So real quick in summary, in short, yes, Unit 8200, that is secret elite, all right, Israeli military intelligence, was reported to have used mass surveillance tools with Microsoft Azure to collect huge amounts of civilian phone calls of Palestinians. Now, this is all under the disguise of something called Project Nimbus. But let me read one of these articles. All right, now here it says on Amazon, this is a little over a month ago. It says Amazon, 2 months ago maybe. Amazon suspends employee who protested contract with Israel. So now, if you even protest, all right, that's good precept. I'm gonna leave this up on the screen. If you even if you protest against Israel, you can get laid off from your job. And then the elder was bringing it out too. I got to look into it and get pull the receipt for it. Is that if you're a business in the U.S., I think it's 32 states. He said made a pact that if someone comes out and says that they don't agree with supporting of Israel, then you're that business within that state, you could lose funding for saying you don't want to support the Yiddle Diddles, the Tunnelites. All right. Now I have another article here. Yeah, here's the article itself. All right. It's not going to let you read it, but all right. Well, it's not sending it through, but you could see from the title. All right. If you protest against Israel, your job, you put out this instant. Okay. Those are serious repercussions. All right. We're talking about you losing your whole livelihood because you're speaking out against pure evil. Okay. Microsoft blocks Israel's use of technology in mass surveillance of Palestinians. So now the reason why I'm bringing this out, because people are probably people are probably thinking, well, what does that have to do with me? All right. Well, we know that the earth is given into the hand of the wicked. If not, where and who is he? So even though it appears like, and what they're saying to us is that they used it for surveillance on Palestinians, we know who they're really spying on. Who has the truth? They're not worried about those Palestinians. They're worrying about us. They're worried about our doctrine and what we're speaking to be brought to the forefront to the whole world to see what's really going on. And slowly but surely, the finger is getting pointed on Amalek. All right, this is we GMS. We got next Mac. All right. This is Isaiah 29:15. Woe unto them that seek deep to hide their counsel from the Lord Yahweh, and their works are in the dark. And they say, who seeth us and who knoweth us? And that's exactly what's going on with this whole thing. Let me just read a little bit of this. Microsoft has terminated the military's. See, Esau, I gotta go quick because he might try and cut the stream. All right, let me how do I go back in? Okay. Stream of playing games. All right. Microsoft has terminated the Israeli military's access to use to operate. I knew this was going to happen. This is some good information. To use operate a powerful civilian cell phone calls made each day in Gaza at the West Bank. The Guardian. Microsoft told Israeli officials that last week, the Unit 8200, the military's elite. All right. Shalom, shalom. I'm back. As you can tell, Satan's mad with this information that's coming out. Shalom, shalom. Yeah, Salakia. As you can tell, Satan's mad with this information that's coming out. All right. So I'm just going to kind of make this quick. Shalom, shalom. Yeah, Salakia. I'll make this quick. Lord willing, y'all can hear me again. I'm going to just bring it back and get straight to these precepts now. And, of course, this man is spying on us. All right. We know he is. He knows that we are the hidden ones. We are the chosen of Yahweh Shem Shah. So he wants to make sure that if we're going to make a move to try to take down his kingdom, that he wants to know it first. Which here at Great Millstone, we're not into contingency plans with taking down Edom on our own accord. All we're going to do is just speak these words, and the Lord said it will consume you with the spirit of his mouth. All right, and we are the mouth of Yahweh Bashem Yahushua. People in the land over there, they're clearly showing the whole world that they're not. All right, now they had this within all this. It was called Project Nimbus that they used. So I said, explain Project Nimbus to me like I am a fifth grader, just so everybody can understand easily. It says, imagine you have a big computer in the sky. That's what people call the cloud. It lets you store tons of pictures, videos, and information without keeping them on your own computer. Now, Project Nimbus is a big deal between the Israeli government and two super famous tech companies, Google and Amazon. They agreed to build and run cloud computers for Israel. Now, 2 years ago, back in like 2023, 2022, a lot of the employees at Google and Amazon, they were protesting this contract, this military contract with Israel. They didn't want to do it. And a lot of people there were mass layoffs. People remember there were mass layoffs in 2021, 2023 from Google and Amazon. But they didn't tell you that it was due to this contract. All right. Now, here's what this means step by step. Number one, the big computers help do big jobs. Israel's government, army, and companies can use the cloud computers to store data, run apps, and analyze information really fast. Google and Amazon provide the cloud. Instead of building their own machines, Israel pays Google and Amazon to do the heavy computer work for them. And I believe the number was roughly like 1.6 billion, if I'm not mistaken, that was used, which wasn't even their own money. All right. This money is put into a program that we fund as so-called Babylonian citizens, U.S. citizens, Babylonian citizens, and they pull from that fund to use that money. So it's just a cycle. All right. 3, it says why people talk about it so much. Some workers and human rights groups worry the same technology might be used for surveillance or spying on military operations in ways that could hurt our people's privacy or safety. And that's what I'm doing on this video. All right. We're not ignorant of Satan's devices. Like the scripture says, lest he should get an advantage, lest Satan should get an advantage over us. We know exactly what they're doing with this software. Yes, they might be spying on people in Gaza and citizens of Palestine, but ultimately, they're probably testing it on them to see how they can use it on all of us, which they're already using it, all right, in some form or fashion. Google and Amazon say it's just a regular tech project to make the government systems faster and smarter, but not for spying. So in short, Project Nimbus, in Israel's big cloud computer system made by Google and Amazon, it helps the government run things faster, but people are debating on how it's being used and whether it's fair or safe. All right. Could this be used on American citizens? All right, let me get a precept. This is Psalm 64. I started verse 1. It says, "Hear my voice, O power, in my prayer. Preserve my life from fear of the enemy. Hide me from the secret counsel of the wicked." Right. Don't you ask the average American what Unit 8200 is? They have no idea. Even though there's a major news about them going on right now. See, at the same time they all this stuff is going on with the raping of that soldier by the Amalekite soldiers. This right here, all right, you have news being spun about everything else. All right, all you're hearing is Venezuela. All you're seeing is AI videos with ICE. All right, you're seeing the narrative still staying on so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans being the problem. You know, hey, Charlie, Calvin Klein, his assassination, you don't even hear about that anymore. All right, so this man is very secretive with how he controls the narrative. That's why he's known as the modern-day Chaldeans. From the insurrection of the workers of iniquity, who whet their tongue like a sword and bend their bows to shoot their arrows, even bitter words. Right. So these are bitter words. I mean, for the average American, for us, we don't care. All right. We know you're spying on us. We know you have our IP addresses. It's just you're just afraid to make a move. All right. Because if you make a move on us, we have all the information from Yahweh Bashem Yahushua to reveal you, according to Jeremiah, the 49th chapter, and Obadiah. Right. What about that mattress that was in that tunnel with that blood on it? That was never explained. You know what? Why do you have a tunnel going from a synagogue to somewhere else? What is that all about? Why are you blocking the construction crews? Why were you running away? At the same time, you also got Jewish. What is it? Jewish man steals housing in Brooklyn. I think it is. There's like some type of housing corruption thing going on. That's in Brooklyn too. All right, steals housing. They're all in court. See now, DuckDuckGo don't want to turn nothing over. This is something. This hold on. Jewish man steals housing from New York residents. Come on now, don't play these games. Yeah, Bronx. It was in the Bronx. Okay, Bronx housing complex residents face gas outages. No, that's not it. That's not it. See, you can't even find this stuff now. These damn devils, man. There was a court case. It was either this week or last week, because I heard it on NPR News. And these devils, there was a guy who was a rat, and he swindled a bunch of Israelites out of their housing in New York. Why can't I find that now? That's crazy. I can't even find it. You see, but that's him. See, they who wet their tongue like a sword. Let's look at this in a different version. And let's see, they sharpen their tongues like swords and aim their bitter words like arrows. Go on to the next verse. It says that they may shoot in secret at the perfect, suddenly that you shoot at him and fear not. And ultimately, that's what we know what's going on. You're using the surveillance and your semantics to really come for us. All right, the earth is given into the hands of the wicked. You might be using Project Nimbus for Gaza and Palestine, but we know damn well it's mainly for us. All right, plug the computer before this thing dies. All right, we know what's really good. We know what you're really up to. All right. First Peter 5:8. It says, be sober, be vigilant. The way that you be sober and vigilant is to study. All right, to watch the news. When you see certain things and you hear certain trigger words in the news, you say, nah, that's not right. 1.6 billion, Amazon and Google has a military contract with Israel. What? These are the major tech companies. Why? How are they stealing information and bypassing certain codes? Yeah, they had Amazon said they had a wink, some type of wink policy. Amazon wink policy for Israel. Basically, they were winking at it, all right? They were agreeing with Israel to do whatever they wanted to do. All right. What was it called? A wink? It was like a wink. Yeah, here it is. Revealed Israel demanded Google and Amazon use secret wink to sidestep legal orders. All right. The tech giants agreed to extraordinary terms to clinch a lucrative contract with Israeli government, documents show. When Google and Amazon negotiated a major, that's what it is, 1.2 billion cloud computing deal in 2021, their customer, the Israeli government, had an unusual demand, agreed to use a secret code as a part of arrangement that would become known as the winking mechanism. You know, hey, the Apocrypha speaks about a man who winks. All right, let's get that. Wink. And I believe that's in the Apocrypha. All right. Yeah. Ecclesiasticus 27:22 says, he that winketh with the eyes worketh evil, and he that knoweth him will depart from him. Hey, that's why those people at Google and Amazon were protesting, and that's why they got fired, because they say, you know what, this ain't right. How are you going to demand that they can sidestep legal orders? You know what I'm saying? And you call it a wink policy, some type of wink policy. Bro, that's wicked as hell. That's wicked as hell. Psalm 64:4 again, that they may shoot in secret at the perfect, suddenly they shoot at him and they fear not. And fear not. Yeah, they don't care because they're in control. Remember, they have the whole earth at their disposal. They have every news outlet. They control Reuters, The Guardian, Washington Post, AP, what's that, BBC News. They control all this stuff. The demand, which would require Google and Amazon to effectively sidestep legal obligations in countries around the world, was born out of Israel's concern that data it moves into global corporations, cloud platforms could end up in the hands of foreign law enforcement. Why? Because the stuff you're doing is wicked. That's why the IDF lady came out and exposed what the Israeli military was doing, sodomizing that hostage. All right, you don't want information like that coming out. You don't want that story, because she said she had many other investigations that she hid. All right, so that's why the scriptures are telling us, be sober, be vigilant, because your adversary, the devil, as a roaring lion, walketh about seeking whom he may devour. So right now, it looks like he's devouring and committing a genocide and ethnic cleansing over there in Palestine with Gaza. But really, that's what he wants to do with us. That's what he wants to do with the so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. At the highest level, them Amalekites, they know who we are. The ones building tunnels in Brooklyn with bloody mattresses. Yeah, y'all know who we are. Now, at the highest level of you, you control the flow of money. You control the surveillance, the social trends. Or you own the freaking porn industry. You know what I'm saying? You control the what's it called? At the highest level, what do you the chemtrails, GMO, genetically modified food. Or you're the one allowing Gates to take over all the farmland in this area. You're the one that's releasing. You have to follow the money and look up the last name of the person at the top of the corporation, releasing genetically modified mosquitoes in Texas and in Florida and all this stuff. You're the one causing havoc on Earth. Why? Because you're seeking to devour many. All right. Psalms chapter 10, and I started verse 2. It says, the wicked in his pride doth persecute the poor. Let them be taken in the devices that they have imagined. Right. You're going to be taken. Unit 8200, that's a secret counsel of the wicked. All right. Let's go to the end. So I asked that question, could this be used on American citizens, meaning the Unit 8200, all right, the Israeli secret military, elite military intelligence unit, could they use things like Project Nimbus, or the surveillance cloud technology on US citizens? So in short, could it be used? Technically, yes. The same kind of cloud tools could be used anywhere. Is it supposed to be used on American citizens? No, that would likely break US laws and company rules, but they don't care. They're making these wink demands. You know what I'm saying? They're making demands saying, no, the hell with your laws. We're going to bypass that. All right. Would you like me to explain how US surveillance laws like FISA and Patriot Act affect what data the government can or collect? No, I don't, because we already know the Patriot Act was put in place before 9/11 happened. All right. They just used 9/11 as a catalyst to enforce it, just like they're going to do with all the other laws and things that they believe in. All right. And that they want to push forward their agenda. All right. Go back to Psalms 10. It says, for the wicked boast of his heart's desires. Right. The right to rape. All right. Is Israel debating the right to rape after the soldier raping the hostage? Hey, I don't give a damn at this point. You can kill this page, you know. I'm surprised this page is still up. I've been letting it fly. All right. Everything is legitimate. Israeli leaders defend soldiers. It's crazy. But they call us pedos and rapists. They have no proof. These niggas get caught on camera. These red Hebrew Edomites get caught on camera. And now look. Everything is legitimate. Israeli leaders defend soldiers accused of rape. What do you mean accused? You're on camera. Video has emerged of a gang rape of Palestinian prisoner by guards at the SDE. Teeman. Look at that. Teeman detention facility in Negev Desert, southern Israel. The video, which has been verified by others, shows the prisoner being selected from a group lying bound on the floor. The victim is then escorted to the wall where guards using their shields to hide their identity from the camera proceed to rape him. Now, when they came out, the Elder Malcolm brought it out in his video. All right. If you think it's legitimate and what you're doing is right, then why are you hiding your faces? All right. Why are you hiding your faces outside the courthouse? Yeah, you hiding your faces like the ICE agents, you know? Let everybody know who you are. If everything is okay, everything's all gravy in the Navy, you know? Where's that picture at? Can't find that picture. Yeah, see, look, here's another one. Israeli soldiers defend torturing Palestinian prisoners. Now, the reason why I'm bringing up this stuff out is because, again, they're spying on the U.S. citizens, all right, Babylonians, because they're likely going to do the same thing to you. They're going to detain you. Remember, the soldiers that are going to get brought in here, the National Guard is not enough. They're too emotional. They're westernized. They're effeminate. All right, they just removed all the trans and women out of it. So they threw. They're gonna have to bring in foreign troops, and when these foreign troops come in, this is the shit that they're gonna be doing. They're gonna be hauling you off to these black sites with masks over their face, and they're gonna be trying to sodomize you. They're gonna be starving you to death. They're gonna be torturing you. All right, Israeli soldiers defend torture, defend torturing Palestinian prisoners, saying they deserve thanks. Wow, yo, this is too much. Proudly, we will not remain silent. We will keep fighting justice, and for our families, you may have tried to break us. We forgot that we are a force of 100 men. Let's see. I don't have to read this stuff. You get what's going on though. All right. Back to Psalms 10, and I'll just finish this up. Verse 4, it says, "The wicked through the pride of his countenance." Right. And what is his countenance? What is he showing his face as? His technocracy. Again, he's controlling the narrative, saying that he's the victim, that we're the problem. You know, like that one soldier, those hostages had all the part in why Israel is so-called failing and looked at the way that it's looked at. No, your reputation precedes you. You are the wicked according to the scriptures. All right, and all that surveillance you're doing, it's not. Who cares if you look at us? Looking, are you gonna look into our bank accounts where money's going? You're gonna look at the websites we're looking at. All you're gonna see is information about you getting blasted and being revealed. That's all you're gonna see. Will not after the Most High, will not seek after the Most High. The Most High Yahweh Shah Shah is not in all his thoughts, and we can see that. You could just see it from the blockade. This man is blocking thousands of trucks and military and humanitarian aid to go to Gaza, while at the same time you freaking raping the hostages on camera and then defending it. All right, so kind of just going back to the point of this, are the Tunnelites spying on us? They are. All right, Google and Amazon, you got caught with that wink deal with the Israeli government, the military contract that you got with Unit 8200. They saying it's for Palestine, but we know it's for us. You know, we know it's for a larger scale to really see how it works here in the U.S. All right, targeting people on visas, speaking out against you, targeting people in schools, people in different businesses. You can shut the businesses down. You know, making sure that your people are protected, and if they're not, you make sure that they execute the law of return. They hurry up and get out of here. See, this is the hypocrisy. This dude, AJ, this football player who bugged out and left in the middle of the game. He got extradited from Dubai. It was Brown, AJ Brown, Antonio Brown. He got extradited from Dubai so he could come over here to face attempted murder charges or whatever. They shipped his ass from Dubai over here. But if you're in Israel and you're wicked, there's no extradition process for Israeli citizens to come back over here that committed wickedness. Pedophilia. There's all types of cases of men committing wicked pedophilia acts, and then escaping and leaving to Israel, putting on a fucking top hat, and you never see them again. You know? But we see you, the Lord sees you. So you looking at us, but Yahweh Bashim Shah is looking at you. All right. So I want to give all praises to Yahweh Bashim Shah Bashim Kakwadash. Like 1 Peter 5:8 says, to be sober, be vigilant, because our adversary, the devil, is a roaring lion, walketh about, seeking whom he may devour. Let me read verse 9, Salaki. Whom resist steadfast in the faith, right? Meaning we just keep our belief, knowing that the same afflictions are accomplished in your brethren in the world. All right. So again, all praises to Yahweh Bashim Yahushua, Bashim Kakwadash, Shalom to the hopeful elect, and of course, double honors to our elders and apostles that came back in the reincarnation. All right, because reincarnation is really known as great millstone. All right, call Halayim La Alahayanawa, Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Bakahakudash, Shalom.